meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, I was just talking to Haley about some of this. She's categorizing it as pool weather. I'm telling you, if you're out there playing golf, at least get another round in for this weekend before that cold weather settles in. Now, looking at the temperatures over the last 24 hours, started out pretty cloudy and pretty misty. Now, we're on the lookout for some more of that early morning fog to turn into some of that low cloud cover. But you see how quickly it sort of clears out underneath this West Texas sun. Right now, we're looking at the temperature change over the last 24 hours down into those lower 50s. Then we made a good 33-degree run way past that record set back in 1991 at about 81 degrees. We're at 86, so we soared right past it. 86 in San Angelo. Everybody else joining us at 86 degrees. Depending on where you're at, you are setting a record or you're tying it today. 82 up there in Sterling City, 86 down there in Junction. Looking like 4 hot degrees across the entire Concho Valley. Haley says it feels like summer out there, but we're tracking that cold plunge because it is also on the warm up with some of this really warm weather. When we're looking at those dew points, they're down there in those 20s, but pushing all the way up into those 50s, while the humidity indices are down there in those teens, all the way up into those 30s. So you're getting a good idea of where we're going to see some of this low cloud cover, if not these foggy conditions, push their way in, because we know how much these humidity values rise overnight, or at least once the sunset falls over us. So we're looking at the instability still hover around the Concho Valley, but we have our eye on sort of the cold weather hovering around towards the north of us. Now, as we continue to deal with this moisture around the Concho Valley, we have our eye on the cold weather trying to fight its way in by next week, if not by Sunday. Now, the upper level pattern is going to rotate as a whole. Now, the central pressure is hovering around the Hudson Bay, and as we watch it rotate, we're going to see this cold air develop somewhere around the Panhandle, and that's what's going to keep us down there in those cold temperatures for about a week. But by Valentine's Day next week, you have 8 days to go. We'll be right back up in those 70s. Here's the moisture tracker. Stephen and I have been keeping our eye on this dry air all week long as we still deal with this stationary boundary is what they're calling it. Now, off the West Coast, another round of winter weather making its way in, so you're seeing the inverse reaction of that, where we're dealing with those record temperatures. Severe weather outlook is targeting just Tennessee today, and when we take you down to the surface, it's beginning to develop. While we'll still see a lot of those red flag alerts hovering around the Panhandle, if not on the border of New Mexico and Colorado. Another day of winter weather pummeling across the Rocky Mountains, if not the West Coast, so they're going to see another 2 feet on top of another 12 feet that they have already seen. And down here in the Concho Valley, absolutely nothing. And that includes seeing this low cloud cover continuously make its way through by Friday up into those 80s, and that includes Saturday hovering around those 90s. But by Sunday, we have our eye on this cloud cover making its way in, and then we're tracking when that cold weather will make its way here as well. So now the low cloud cover could turn into some light spotty shower activity. Steven gets a closer look. He always gets the better weekends when all that activity is going down. Sorry that you have to be here for the Super Bowl, but we know you're going to be watching it. Tonight, back down into those 50s. Then tomorrow, right back up near those record temperatures, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. So capitalize on it. At least stock up on those snacks, because by game day, those cold temperatures are going to make their way in somewhere around those 50s as we make our way closer towards Valentine's Day. We're going to see those temperatures fight back and forth between those 50s and those 60s, while those overnight lows only touch down near those freezing levels at least around Tuesday. Stay tuned. We'll have the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.